Anyways, let's do some shooting. Oh, beautiful. So did that work? Let me know if that worked, and also welcome to a new camera. Hopefully you can actually hear us, because I'm not sure if this works either. Hope you're all well. Welcome to my Canon M50, which is now hooked up for live streaming until the battery, well, not until the battery runs out, but the battery will run out, so I will close this one off very shortly and go back to the webcam. But Canon released something this week, a bit of software that allows any fairly recent Canon camera to work alongside your Zoom calls and all that other online stuff. So instead of having your crappy webcam in the top of your laptop, you can hook up your Canon cameras now. They do recommend you get one of them battery adapters that actually power straight into the camera so it doesn't run out. So I was just testing it today. Hopefully it's working. Hopefully the audio is working. Ozzy says it works. Grant. Fantastic. Right, we will revert back to the normal webcam now. I was just going to test out that everything worked on this, because we might use this more in the future if we pay 50 quid for a bloody power adapter. That's probably a cheap Chinese version, but they do recommend the cheaper one, the Canon official one. So yes, right, we're gonna swap back to the webcam, and we'll see you over there. So, did that work? I'll just knock this off, by the way. Save me battery. Good evening to you all. Hope you're all well. If you could let me know that the new camera and everything worked, and the audio worked fine, and then the intro played as well, that would be fab. You can just confirm all that just before I shut everything down, would be lovely. So yeah, good evening to you all. Hi Tomek, good to see you. Jerome, good to see you as well. Ozzy, John, I'm well, thank you. Pretty much, I think, anyway. Tina, evening as well. And hi Aileen, good to see you all. There's a few folk watching tonight, so hopefully all that worked. It worked, Brill. Fantastic. Right, we might use that one a little bit more in the future. And if I actually do get that attachment, I will maybe stop using the webcam because it's a bit pants. Grand. Right. Technological experiment for today complete. Right. Fantastic. Right. The M50 has some sound delay. Right. Something to play around with, Jerome. Thank you very much for letting me know. Because the M50 is just the camera, whereas the audio is using this thing. So maybe something I've just got to play around with. There might be some delay type thing I can use alongside the images to balance that out. Something I'm probably just going to have to play around with. But thank you for letting me know that, Jerome. That'd be grand. Right, I'm going to shut this thing down so I don't have to look at myself. Hi Colin, by the way, good to see you. Right, tonight, I wasn't saying I'm running out of stuff to edit, but I'm getting less. So tonight I'm looking to do maybe a couple of images. Justin sent me something of Kirkgill Foss, so we're going to have a go with that. And then I've got a shot from David Byrne, and then I might show you how mad I have gone this week, because things are getting bad. Cabin fever. I really need to leave the confines of the village and do some photography, because I've been doing some mad things yesterday anyway. I haven't done so many mad things today, but yesterday I just completely lost the plot. The vocals are out of sync now. Not sure then, because it's the same microphone as normal. I don't know, let's switch things around maybe. Maybe we'll just have to do without. It'll probably not matter once we just go back onto the screen. Maybe I've just overcomplicated it and broken something. That's okay now. Alright. Right, I am drinking orange squash as usual because I'm boring. So no cider for me. Focus are fine. Alright, fine. Let's... Who knows? Not to worry. So yeah, Justin's sent some images from Kirkhill Foss, which I'm going to have a go at. I've got some older stuff from David Byrne to edit, and then, like I say, I'll possibly move on to something a little bit mad, which you might all have a good giggle at later on. So initially, we're going to look at Justin's stuff. If I can share my screen, there we go. So yeah, you just keep us updated with the technology, because yeah, I don't know, introducing lots of things at once probably isn't a great idea. But that light's on because it's getting dark. Duller day today, bit cloudier. Right, not sure if I'm gonna put myself on frame. I might as well be in the middle of it. Right, so Justin sent me these 5 images of Kirkhill Foss, which is that famous kind of Gandalf hat-looking mountain in Iceland. Very ghostly kind of images he sent me, so I may love or hate this. And they're all different zoom levels by the looks of it as well. Hi Justin! You've arrived just in time. Right, so let us get started with this. Lens corrections. That helped a little bit. Noise reduction. I think this is a shot on the Z6, is it, Justin? Quite possibly, he's not telling me. I'm assuming it is. Right, basics, landscape, just enhance it. Alright, didn't enhance it. Now, from what you mentioned to us the other week, the Z6 or 7 or whatever, whichever one it is, it likes its blues. Comes out very blue. Hi Gilbert, welcome along. Very happy to have you along for your first live viewing. I hope those scones are lovely. I've got some cheese scones on order from a local cafe that I'm picking up tomorrow. Can't wait. Got some tea cakes on order from them as well. Got some last weekend. Fantastic. Looking forward to that. So that will be tomorrow's highlight of the day. Right, so adding in a lot of warmth has done knackers all to this colour scheme. Those new Nikons do indeed like their blues. Right. Obviously Iceland is quite a cold country, so let us probably jump all over that kind of feeling. There's not a lot more to do with this one, is there? Just apply it to the other 5 and see what we get. I've forgotten how to sync settings already. There we go. The brain is going to mush this week, I must admit. The 750. still very blue, Justin, that's all. Right, so that's that. Yeah, that's them all applied over. We will edit these in Photoshop. And wait a while for them to load in. Gateway drug to biscuits. Indeed, Dominic. There's a reason once I started drinking tea, I became a bastard. Hi Diane, good to see you. Hopefully I didn't speak in the middle of computer crap. You did actually hear. Yeah, Justin has probably doing a little bit of effect as well. Wait for this to load. It's all getting slow. Yeah, the ND filter 10 make a difference. Jesus. Right, are you finished? Computer, please. Finally. Get me frame rate back to more than half a frame a second. My word. Yes, ND filters will make a bit of a difference. Obviously, the Lee filters are known as being, everybody, years ago they used to say it used to be neutral. Bollocks, it's got a blue cast. My ND filters, which are B&W, have a warm cast. And probably that's why I do a lot of warmer images, and I just use that to my advantage. And other ones will have different colour casts. Some will actually be fairly colour neutral. But if you know what colour cast your ND filter is casting, then you can use that to your advantage. Shoo. What are we going to do with this one? Not a lot to it to do much. Right, multiply. Let's try to layer some of these together. This might be the hardest one I've done ever because there's not a lot there. I'll line them up, get it thickened up a bit. This was the oversized one, wasn't it? Which I think I'll just disregard, to be honest. So I don't think I'm going to use that one either, unless we use a different blend mode. Cycle through these blend modes. You know, this is one of the issues about how using images from different zoom lengths and different positions can be a bit awkward. Evening, Andrew. Good to see you. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, mixing like a subject, especially a subject like this, different zoom lengths and different positions around it, different setups is what I would call it, makes it tricky. When did I first become interested in photography? I don't know if there was an actual first time. One of them, I think first school, so like under 9, I would kind of set up dioramas with my action figures, like Star Wars figures and things like that. I would kind of set up scenes and then use me like, you know, the old compact cameras, film cameras that we all used to have back in the day, back in this, you know, early 80s, that, you know, them cheap compact cameras. I would use them and photograph those scenes, so you can probably take it back to then. But seriously, the photography is after the turn of the century anyway. So my first DSLR in 2004. I actually got my first digital camera in '99, I think. And very seriously, as in making money out of it, or a little bit of money out of it, since 2011. Ooh, now we're talking. Now we're looking at something a bit different. So yeah, I've been doing it that long. I think we're going to need some stuff at the top of there. Just doing my usual thing of turning everything on and off. Right, this one I'm actually going to mask that out because I like the foreground. The wrong way around. What am I doing? I've lost the plot. Turn that off. Yeah, I like the foreground. I did like the foreground. I didn't like it once I turned it off. Done it the wrong way around, haven't I? Invert the mask. Stop clotting around, Andy. That's better. Got there eventually. Yeah, everybody else is chatting more. Right, so we are about here. Bit of a shape of the mountain. Obviously we are heading to some abstract place with this one. I'm just gonna actually just crop all this down because I can't really mask any of that out. Very roughly, about there. Confirm it. Come on. Bit of a curve. Just I would like to just lift that bottom end up a little bit. Not too much though. Right. Hue and saturation. We are going for something a little bit daft again this week. That looks something quite nutty. I suppose I was a little bit arty. I could sketch a bit. I don't even remember what year it was, but I was second in some kind of kids award thing here in the northeast. Well, that would have been probably maybe about when would it have been? I can barely remember, it was that long ago. So it would have been early 80s anyway. It was some kind of garden sketching thing or something. Won some award, or was second and won summit. Can't remember. Had to go some fancy presentation in Newcastle. That's the only bit I kind of remember. So I could draw when I was at school when I was younger. But when it came to actual studying art, I wasn't that great at it. I could just about do it, but wasn't some bloody genius or anything. obviously, because look at what I'm doing now. I just enjoyed it because I was a lazy bastard. You can spend half my time just going down to the art room and just sitting talking instead of like doing double maths or chemistry or something. I think of nothing worse. Right, Analog Efex Pro, and let's do some twiddling around with this one. Yeah, I think I did art because I am inherently lazy. It seemed like less hard work than any of the other subjects you got to choose. So I think it did come down to I could do geography and history or art. And even though I like geography and history, well, history anyway, I chose to do art because it sounded easier. What and how did I drive into ICM Photography? I blame Valda Bailey. Valda Bailey is the reason I do ICM Photography, because I saw one of her images and I was massively confused on how it was done. I hadn't seen anything like it before. So I was very confused on how it was achieved, so I had to go and research it all, and I discovered it was made via ICM and multiple exposures. Well, that's one way to describe it, Justin. I had to get away from blue somewhere. There was no way I was sticking with a monotone blue. We are going to get orange, obviously, at some point, in some way, in this image. I would like to get retain some blue. It is Iceland after all. I want to depict some ice. I presume it was still icy when you were there, Justin. Or was that the back end of last summer? I can't remember. I remember you were saying you were going when you came down. I know that. Ooh, that red one. Valda Bailey. She's based down in Suffolk. Her and Doug Chinnery run a creative photography business together. And when everybody's not on lockdown, they do lots of international trips, like Japan and India. They've just been to Morocco. I think she's done stuff in the US. So do very well out of it. And she's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant at it. Too many choices with this one. I really would like to do retain some of that blue, and it's just a case of getting the rest right. What's this one like? Nah, I'd rather not. Although, I quite like that little shape down here. Let's have a little play with this to see what it does. If I move that around, does that ruin it? No, that's an advantage. A little bit too much magenta. So what I'm thinking, I was thinking crop square, but make sure that shape in there is there, and then I don't mind about chopping off that right hand side. Maybe it doesn't need to be as dark. Just slide this exposure balance. About 55, I think. Yeah, something like that. Right, so that's basic adjustments. It's added a lot of brightness, contrast. That gives, yeah, increasing that contrast back to 0 kind of gives you that feeling of distance across here, across this line here. Saturation, add the saturation back in. Yeah, no, that's good with a reduced saturation palette. Detail, just ease that back in, just spotted by sight. Out there. Lovely. End of October, right? Ah, right. So there was a bit of snow on the ground. Good stuff. Yes, I think I stopped drinking when I started doing ICM, which is completely unbelievable, really. I've done Northern Lights ICM before, Justin, and the stars get in the way. That's all I'll say. The stars get in the way. Because as you're giving it a wiggle, those stars get everywhere. Right, darkness, lightness, darker light. Actually, if I bring that down, that's going to kill the sky off a bit more, which is nice. It's also going to kill that off there, that blob of magenta over there as well. Just maybe it's just slightly, just like that. Film type, not going to arse around with that. Kind of sorted all that out. Little bit of brightness, put that bright top of that RGB back into the corner. About there. Kind of leave the rest as is. Yeah, not bad. Right, come out of that, go back to Photoshop. See where we end up. So I'm thinking square crop. Yes, I am going to crop in here. It is a bit central, but like I said to somebody earlier this week, ICM Photography, everything does tend to get into the middle. Maybe about there. I can see that on a wall with a bit surround on it. Nice and abstract, nice colours. Reasonably pleased with that, I think. Yeah. Right. Just to save a bit of time, I'm just going to flatten that. Save it out as one. I don't think I'm going to do anything more to it. File, save. It'll take a fraction of the time. Done. Back in the Lightroom, it should be there. Yeah, there we go. Slow, right, yeah. I'm quite happy with that. I think. Maybe it's a radial filter across the middle. Do a little radial filter across there, not so much. A little bit brighter. Add in a little bit of yellow on the colour temp. And then that kind of, by lightening that area up, that's just brought another line in onto the sky just to give it that top, which is quite nice. So yeah, right. So that's Justin's out the way. So yeah, we've gone from something like that to select the bloody image to that. That's a worthwhile change. Changed it up. I think we're all ready to get out and do some more shooting, Colin, because I think everybody's dog walks and daily exercise and gardens are starting to restrict what we're prepared to shoot now, aren't we? I think we're getting ready to spread our wings a little bit further. Right, so David's image, I'm gonna very quick, we're 8 o'clock at the minute, right, that's fine, going according to plan at the minute. So David's image, I've been teasing this one for a little while now because it's, to me, there's not a lot needs done to it, if much at all, to be honest. So, and I always nice to do an edit where it's not ICM as well. I do enjoy it, but at times you just want to do something different. Oh, make the most of it, Ed. Make the most of it. Because change the vertical, that might not sort that out. Oh, some of these work sometimes don't. It's the wrong way. Just want to straighten them. Come on. Straighten them railings out. Come out of that. Just need to crop that top in a little bit. There we go. Done. Right, so for me, I know sometimes it works, but to me this stop lingering over presets handy. So shut them down so we don't do it anymore. To me, there's not much of a gap, a difference between the sea and the sky, and also I'd imagine he's shot this with a grad filter on because the sky is darker than the sea, and if we know about reality, the sky is actually lighter than the sea in reflections. So just going to try to balance that out a little bit. Maybe I may be talking out my ass. Landscape, just enhance the colour a little bit more. Do that automatically. Let's do auto, just see what it does. No. Right. It is a very nice image by David. I'm very pleased he sent me it to play with, so I can play with it and steal it. Only joking, David, if you're out there. But it is a very nice image. Lovely leading into the image and all, you know, bit of a V there, that line leading in, and then the pier bit going across, and then you got the island in the back, Crooked Island in the background. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Right, so I am going to drop it and defilter across the top. Just to knock that sky back. This was shot in the evening, by the way, I did check that out. So if you know the location, which is Amble Harbour, at the middle, as you're looking at this image, you are facing east. So that's why there's no light source coming in. It's behind us. Done, and lift the shadows a bit. There we go. Bright and shiny sea or duller sea. Slightly duller, I think. Whoa. More contrast. Or using the blacks, just pulling them blacks down. I am, in all honesty, I think I will be cropping some of that darker area out, so I'm not too concerned about that. So if you look in detail on here, it is a little bit soft. So we're just gonna whack the contrast up texture slider up. A little bit of clarity as well. Go back up to the detail slider. Increase the sharpening, increase the masking so it doesn't disturb all them softer flat areas. That should be better. A bit more edgy now. Lovely. So I think because David shot this with an ND filter on, I don't think I'm going to be able to get around that lighter C, but it does give it a nice little sheen. So that's all right. Just a Facebook thing. So yeah, not bad. There are a few dust spots, but I'm not going to spend my time cleaning them up. So I think I'm just going to give this a little crop, just to tighten up the composition a bit, I think. Well, we need to go to 4x5. So composition wise, I'm thinking I need to get this little kink in where the concrete of the pier comes away on this angle. I think I need to include that because coming inside it feels like it's just disappearing off, and putting maybe too much of it in there isn't maybe great. Starting to be a bit unbalanced. So we'll see. So maybe 2x3 crop is actually the way forward. Having about here, so that angle's just in. I'm not concerned, you know, the lighthouse bit isn't on any third lines. I'm not worried about that. Crooked Island there, near that third island, third line, third cross line. The clouds are kind of holding the image in, which is nice, kind of balanced it off. Yeah, it's a bit left heavy, but I like tension in images. You know, that would really annoy some people, is the fact that the feeling like they're going to pile into the sea on the left because there's nothing holding that side in. I like creating tension in an image, so because it will pull the eye. You know, if you're walking down a corridor and this image is there, and it's got that big wide open space on the left hand side, it's going to catch your eye because people will be uncomfortable with it. So never be frightened of putting out something that's unbalanced, because it might just freak a few people out in it, but it will catch eyes. So do that. Right, very quick adjustment brush. Just increase the brightness. Hi Paul, by the way, good to see you. Who's the podcast guest this week? Do let us know. And hi Rad Photo, good to see you. Happy you can be along for the back end of the stream. We've got another image to make yet, and you can all have a good laugh at how mad I am. Yes, well, do let us know who's on the podcast this week, Paul. So just with this adjustment brush tool thing, whatever it is, just lightening up those areas. Think mask, yeah, auto mask is on, so that's fine. The only thing is they are starting to blend in with the sky just on that side. It's very roughly slip them in, something like that. David Johnson, never heard of him. David Johnson. Paul Johnson, I've heard of. That sounds terrible. I'm guessing he's a YouTuber, a YouTube landscape photographer. I really need to watch more landscape photography vlogs. Hi Jerry, good to see you. It is a dust spot near the top. Well spotted. There's one there, and there's also there's a few around here. But I'm not going to clean them up. Not my job. Because we'd be here all night. Let's see what they're. See, there's a good few around. There's a few I could see around about this area. Done. Right. So I think that's not too far away from being done. Just do I dare try to just bringing the colour temperature back just a little bit, just enhances that them oranges. He's from Tennessee, right? Still never heard of him. I probably have. Just completely forgot it. Right, I like that silvery blue. I do like that, and it looks like the sun behind us is catching the lighthouse. So I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, and you bog standard out it. There wasn't much to do. So before and after, you can see there. Just kind of working on the blues a little bit, enhanced them, sharpened it up a bit, made it look a little bit more blue hour, evening kind of thing. So yeah, yes, Aileen. I hope you've been cleaning your filters, your sensor. Right then, so I will, for the time, just for a moment, because I've got to reload my catalogue, so I will just very temporarily just go back to this, and then I will change the catalogue to my regular catalogue. Skip. I will be back in 2 seconds. I hope, a few. The only thing is it will suck all the resources out of the thing. Actually, whilst I'm on, I can whack this up. My wall of patrons to my very, very kind patrons. Very much appreciative for everybody that supports me on there, especially on the $20 tier. Larry and Jerry. Jerry is actually in the chat. So very, very thankful to those. And today I've just been finalising this month's wallpaper, which my patrons get a hold of. So why is Lightroom crashed? No, it's not. It's just taking an age. So yeah, if anybody is interested in supporting me on Patreon, supporting me as a patron on Patreon, then please do head on over to patreon.com/AndrewSGray, and you can find out all about the various tiers there. Right then, and now that plug is over with, we will go back to the normal screen. Right then, hands up if you can spot a madman. Hands up if you are that madman. Because yes, because I completely lost the plot yesterday. I found myself, camera in hand, like this, opening up Google Earth, going on to Google Street View, finding views, and photographing my screen whilst looking at those views. Not the actions of a sane man. So for example, just looking at this, example number 1, Fountains Abbey, somewhere in Yorkshire. So I brought that up into Google Earth, into the Google Street View. Dropped on the little man where you can set your point and look and do your 360-degree views. Did all that. Got the camera into a position that kind of works on the screen. Picked up the camera and started wafting it around. There you go. Landscape photography without leaving the office, without even getting off my chair. you can go nearly anywhere in the world and take ICM images. Maybe it doesn't work as well with sharp landscape photography kind of images, but I did that, so there. What do you mean gone to the other side? I was already there, Aileen. So yeah, don't laugh too hard, Paul, by the way. You know, times is hard. I barely left the village in 6 weeks. March the 8th was the last time I took a photograph whilst outside. So, you know, things are getting desperate. So anyways, Fountains Abbey, so I had a few shots of that. As you can see, it can be a bit tricky because it starts picking up the edges of your computer screen. You know, yes, one of the few other issues is that light is fake because the light's already been shot, so you can't really use it that well. The other thing is leaving your mouse pointer on the middle of the screen isn't a good thing. The other thing is you've got the Google insignia at the bottom of the screen as well. So yeah, Fountains Abbey. So I had a little walk around. Here's another view of it. So these are some of the ones I picked out. The other thing is some of the colour balancing is completely out of whack. You can probably see that this is a bit purpley, a bit magenta, because obviously a lot of Google Earth images are taken with a crappy camera, and therefore doesn't have good colour balance. You just got to work with what you've got. As you can see, you can obviously get some lesser movement type ones, and you can get some bigger movement type ones. The main problem I did discover that it was tricky to focus, because in actuality you're focusing on the screen, which is very close to the camera. You're not actually focusing on infinity behind. Actually, if you were there, you'd be focusing on the building. You're focusing on something that's 15 centimeters away from the front of the lens, so you can easily get out of focus quickly. So yeah. So there you go. So yeah, I actually processed an image using this stuff. So I did go kind of down the bonkers route. Did all the, inverting the black and white just to see what would happen. So I got that which was one image, and using these views of this particular view of Fountains Abbey. This was a second edit. But I thought, for a bit of fun, we'd go to Downton Abbey, Highclere Castle. I don't know how well it works. Now, one of the problems with Highclere is that it hasn't had the Google Earth walk aroundy people on. With the thing with the camera on the top, it's only had people that actually gone there and shot 360-degree stuff with their. I didn't, Colin. I should have done. Maybe there's a video coming about this, and that might be one of the funny parts at the start. So, anyways, I picked up a few points around Highclere and got a little bit of data. So I thought, just for a giggle, we'd have a go at processing one of these just to see what happens, because Highclere is one of them places I would love to go. So, and hopefully by doing it through this isn't interfering with anybody copyright or anything. Surely it's, I think Google Street View is derivative. You can make works derivative from it, because I've seen people do huge projects on it, like documentary type of projects and stuff. So I'm sure there's no legal problems whatsoever with it. Right, let's get that one. So I'll just mark these two so I know which ones I'm going to use. Definitely that one. Yes to that one. Stuff it. Yeah, yes to that one. So all these ones with a little bit of light on the front. So let's pick that one to work on. Develop module. Evening, David. You better rewind about half an hour. We edited your really amazing picture. I hope you like the final edit. Lens correction's probably not going to make much difference. Detail's not going to make any difference because it's out of focus. Landscape, let's see what... No, let's stick with normal colour. The colour balance is a problem because the... I'm sure Lightroom can't actually handle what's going on. So it's confused. So let us just see what we get. Try to balance it a little bit. Don't have much point bringing shadows out. A little bit black added. Gone off the deep end. Do they? All right. I will. Well, I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm just doing this for a laugh. I'm not gonna sell you. I'm not gonna sell the work. That's for certain. But it would be nice to go down to Highclere and shoot it for real. For reals. Right. Let's just sink all them across and see what we can do. Very quick. Oh God, we've got 10 minutes. Take minutes to load. It'll take that long to load into Photoshop. Right. I'll have to stop putting the strong stuff in this orange juice. I mean, in all honesty, by doing this, they probably wouldn't be able to tell that it's come from their system. I don't even think their super intelligent AI place identification type of thing will be able to pick that kind of stuff up because it is so abstract. Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking for excuses now. Come on, computer. You can do it. I know what a move tool is. Are we done? We're done. Grand, right. Launch them together. Blend modes. Ooh. So you can almost see from here. Oh bollocks! See from here. Forgetting I wasn't in Lightroom. How out of focus it is because the camera couldn't focus properly. So it is a bit. Everything is a bit soft. So there are significant drawbacks. Right, that light and blend would look quite fun. So I'm just gonna take various ones out because it kind of crushes the building down a bit. You take that one, it looks quite good. That one adds a little bit more height to it. I like that. I like that light sweep through. Taking that one out kind of brings them trees back in. Ooh, do I want that height back in? Actually, I probably do. Put that in, but raise it. So it's more like so, I think. Yeah. Give that one out. Yeah, actually have that one in. So, alright. Oh, you're out in the big old blue sea stuff. Right, that'll do. I'm just going to chop that out there and clear out there and out there somewhere. Actually, I'm just going to save on time. Just going to crop the bottom out because it's got all the Google stuff on. Curves adjustment, brightness, bit of contrast, a little bit. Yeah, bit of an S curve. So this is the problem where the colour balance is a bit off, a bit out of whack. So we could go green. Yeah, that's not bad. Because the problem is you can't control everything you would normally like to control. Just going to dial that back a little bit. Or do I go red? No, that's just a little bit over. Alright. I'm just worried this might turn out as just a yellow mush. Alright, yeah, right, okay. Yeah, usual thing, whacking into Analog Efex Pro, see what happens. See what happens. See how mad it is. More mad than me. So this is what lockdown does to you eventually. All gets a bit silly. So yeah, as I thought, these are all going to turn out a bit yellow. That Dunstan Row 1 looks alright. Yeah, they're all a bit crap. So there's the. Thankfully, this is a quick edit because we are not hanging around. Yeah, this Dunstan Row preset. You get the gist of it. Come here. Let me see you. Just you by doing that, it's going to just amended the sky, brighten the sky up, added a bit of contrast into the. Actually put that up. No, about there. For God's sake. Too many digging around. Yeah, so one of the problems is all these shots are a little bit wishy-washy. There's not a lot of contrast to them. So just one of them things you've got to deal with the restrictions. Increase the saturation quite a bit, quite a lot. Madness, I think, Colin. God, ICM Street View. Theft. Okay, just looking through, there's some of these film filters, if there's anything that makes it look less sickly. Not really. Warm it is then. Strength. Yeah, I don't need a film on that one. Yeah, that's. So I don't think I'll ever make anything decent out of this kind of style or this kind of premise, but it's a laugh. That's the main thing. Virtual insanity. You might be right there. Right, lens vignette. Let's crank that even lower. Or even make the sun up there. There you go. Something like that. It's all a bit mad. I think that'll do. Yeah, because the colours are annoying me because I just can't quite get them. I don't want to spend the time getting them anywhere near. So yeah, it's in reality it would be easier to shoot, but the colours are a bit not. Photographing a screen, there's just too much colour interruption, and obviously screens are made up of red, blue and yellow dots, aren't they? And cameras interacting with that, and it's all just a bit of a mess. If only we were, Diane, if only we were a night, like, I'm not one for going out much, but a night out sounds like a good thing. Sounds like a good idea. So yeah, no, I don't think there's much more to do on that. Again, I'm just going to flatten that. File, save. Transcended photography. Post photography, yes, it's I suppose I have actually, mentioning Valda again, I've seen an image she's made whilst in an art gallery featuring another work. I think it was in America somewhere. So, but she was physically in the gallery rather than photographing a bloody screen in their office in Northumberland. A thesis in it. My God, I can't even explain the reason in my head why I even thought about doing it. So yeah, it was a bit of fun. It's the kind of thing that this lockdown was made for, I think. But yeah, I had to laugh at myself last night when I started doing it. So if you take yourself too seriously, you're in trouble, and I don't take myself seriously at all. So I'm quite happy having a good laugh at myself. So yeah, do check her out. She's very, very good. Highly recommend studying her work. It is very abstract, by the way. So if you're not really into abstract stuff, you might be feeling a bit not too keen, but absolutely fantastic. Yeah, there's not much more I can say about it apart from she is fantastic and a very nice person as well. So there you go, and probably not as quite off a rocker as what I am when I'm doing this. Ooh, now I've just got a thought. Stonehenge. I've always wanted to photograph Stonehenge. That might be one to look at for the next time. So right, okay, let's try this again, see if this camera works, and we can go back to how we started. Actually, I'll knock this light off so you can see me, hopefully. Right, so I would just like to say thank you for watching. Let's go to the right bloody picture. That's the one. So hopefully this still works, but I would just like to say thank you very much for watching tonight. It's been a pleasure. Get to test out new intro, new way of starting, different camera. So hopefully that's kind of made a little bit of a difference. Maybe it's increased the quality. I don't know if that's much, I don't know if you can do that much of that in a live stream, but every little helps. But yeah, once I get the power pack, then I will probably use this more often, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, so again, thank you very much for watching tonight. It's been entertaining as always, and just stay safe, everybody. Look after each other, and until the next one, keep hard. See ya. end.